Sacrificing a piece in the opening against a 2200 sound like something pretty bad, to be fair, because you're supposed to know theory, so you know this shouldn't happen, but let me tell you something, this game was crazy and I think it's pretty cool, so let's see what happened. I'm playing as black, my opponent played d4, we play a French, a classical French, and I reply with f6, this is the Steinix, then I go back. This is like normal theory, no problem. Now you should play knight on z3, this is the by far most played move, and life goes on. We probably, I'm going to castle short, it might castle short, it might castle long, we don't know. But I decided to take. No, taking is a weird move. So you can see I'm already better because you are not supposed to take. Like if I take with the bishop now, I'm not going to castle. That's it, you're not going to castle. You cannot play bishop on e3 because obviously I can take it. What can you do now? Well, queen g4. Queen g4 is apparently theory, I didn't know that. This was the first time I was playing such a similar position, and I played thousands of games in the French, but I've never seen this. So this is apparently the Bradford attack. So apparently this makes sense. I decided to castle, obviously. And well, obviously it was bad, to be fair. What I should have played was castling. Good morning, Stockfish. Okay, I decided to castle. What to do now? Castling is the best move, objectively speaking. I know this is scary, but if you don't castle, how can you attack and destroy your opponent? I'm not going to castle long, obviously, and if I keep my king in the middle, I'm going to get destroyed. So castle makes sense. At this point, it's really sensible to develop the light square bishop. So the light square bishop attack us on h7. What to do now? And I think I played a really good move and a really clever move. So the idea is that the queen is on g4, which is something that never happens. So it was like, if I play f5, I'm going to attack the queen. If you take, I take with the knight, you open the position for me, you cannot even castle, that's stupid, you're not going to take. If I play f5, I also block the bishop. And you see, usually in this position, if you have to sacrifice a piece, so you're going to sacrifice the light square bishop on h7 to create some problem, but after I play f5, you cannot do that, and you also have to waste the time with the queen. So yeah, this move was pretty clever in my opinion. Now I have ideas of queen e8 and queen on g6. What to do now? At this point, I can play knight on c6 and to develop pieces. Apparently, a better move would have been to play queen on b6 or bishop on b6. Well, queen on b6, there is this. I know I can give a check, but I thought that wasn't really necessary. My opponent is not going to play bishop e3 anyway, because I can push away a piece, so that is not the, perfect move in my opinion. So I just decided to develop pieces, which that made sense. If he plays knight on b5, I just play a6, you play this, I take, whatever, I'm going to win the pawn, and march my pawn towards the middle. So he decided to play a3 with the idea of playing b4, which shouldn't be really scary. So at this point I was like, well, I castled, I'm up in development, I have a huge control in the center, so I was like, I have a crazy idea. What if I throw this knight into this pawn, take, I have a crazy control in the center, my opponent still cannot castle, a strong knight, he can push this pawn and destroy him. This has to be a great move. So apparently this is a mistake. If you let Stockfish think, the evaluation pretty much doesn't change. I still slightly better. And I'll tell you something, this is not a mistake. This is a really good move. A really interesting one. Now obviously it's not easy. And we are going to have a crazy position. So I'm attacking the bishop, I'm probably going to take it. The idea is that after I take, I free some space for my pawns so that I can push them. Now he decided to develop pieces, obviously that does make sense, and now we can take the bishop, best move, and as you can see, I'm already in pretty good shape. Now, if you sacrifice a piece, you need to play actively, otherwise you're going to get destroyed. You need to justify the fact that you sacrifice a piece. I cannot give my opponent any single chance to castle, because otherwise my piece sacrifice is not going to make any sense. Also, the other advantage of sacrificing is that after I push this pawn, the queen is going to be on the same diagonal of the bishop, so you need to pay attention to that. I decided to play a really good move. We need to play active moves. e5. Now e5 is another sacrifice. I'm sacrificing a pawn. Also, this pawn is pretty strong. I'm threatening to play this. I'm threatening to play this. You cannot play this because I can take it. If you take, which is the best move, I have rook e8. Rook e8 pinning the knight. Obviously, you cannot play this. You have to defend the knight. So bishop f4 does make sense, defending the knight. And at this point, I could have played bishop on d4. Bishop on d4 attacks everything. You need to defend the knight once again, so queen on f3. Queen on f3, I have queen on f6. And now the best move is to play rook on c1. I win the piece, and you castle. So I sacrifice the piece. These are all the best moves. We reach a position like this, where I'm up a pawn. Now you can take... Oh wait, now is my turn. So you cannot take... I guess I can defend this pawn somehow, and that's slightly better. So as you can see, the sacrifice made a ton of sense, but going back, this is not something that my opponent played. My opponent played bishop on g5. Bishop on g5 attacks the queen. If I find queen e8, I probably win the game. Queen e8 is a crazy move. I'll tell you something, I didn't talk about queen e8 even for a second, but queen e8 looks dumb, but actually I'm threatening this. There is a queen on the same file of the king, cannot be a bad move. I mean, that does make sense. I played queen on b6 instead, with the idea that if you play this, obviously, I mean, that doesn't do too much. I play queen on e5, you have to go back, I push, I mean, you lose the knight. And if instead of doing this, you play this, I can still take, probably you take and figure it out, but I mean, I can give a check, I can destroy you, there is f4, I'm pushing my pawns, I'm going to win. So obviously that is not a good move. Queen on b6, just saying, you will never castle. Because let's say you castle long, that's pretty stupid. I just move the bishop, I play rook c8, you get absolutely destroyed. Decided to castle anyway. It's like, okay, you are stupid, I'm going to castle anyway. What can I do now? Now, apparently f4 wins. And I'll tell you something, this game wasn't perfect, this game was so complicated you don't even understand. Like, we made a ton of mistakes, but because it was crazy complicated, obviously, I never had a position such this one. Obviously, is the first time I'm playing this dumb stuff. So, f4 apparently wins. If I play f4, you play, I don't know, queen on h4, or, yeah, queen on h4, there is bishop on f2, you have to move once again. And I can probably push at this point or play bishop on e6, threatening rook c8, and you get destroyed. Instead of doing that, because I mean, move order is important, but I couldn't really understand the difference between everything. I decided to play a move that I thought was better, and apparently it wasn't, but I mean, still makes sense. I decided to play e4. Now, e4 is a move. I mean, is a move. Apparently there is a knight on e4, which I didn't see, obviously, but let's say you take, I'm going to take attacking the knight and the queen. I might push this pawn. This position is scary. Now you have to be careful. He decided to go back with the knight, so knight on d2. It is a human move, you know, you bring the pieces closer to your king so that you are defended, makes sense. And now f4 comes. f4 is a great move. We're attacking the queen, we are threatening this eventually, we are threatening to take eventually, we are threatening a ton of stuff. Queen on h4, and I played another great move, bishop on f2. What is the idea of bishop on f2? You have to waste another time with the queen, but it's not only that, we are opening the file. Now the bishop is no more on c5, so rook on c8 is going to be stronger, and also we might push the pawn on e3 and consolidate the position of the bishop. So yeah, this was a great move. Nothing else to say. So, bishop on f2, queen on h5. And now I played a move that I thought that made a ton of sense. Apparently the move is e3, but I was like, okay, it goes back and what? It goes back and what? Bishop e6? I don't know, I was like, well, doesn't make any sense. Why should I do that? His knight is so passive, it doesn't make any sense to do something like that. So I decided to play g6. g6 has an idea. I want to develop the bishop, but if I develop the bishop on e6, it's not really so active. So after you move the queen, I can play bishop on g4 attacking the rook, so you might want to move the rook and then gain another time. So I thought I was pretty clever with this move. Even though if you think about it, if you move the rook, there is probably a e3. And yeah, this looks scary. I can take and, you know, put a queen on d4 probably. So this wasn't the best move, obviously. Now, apparently, if you take the pawn on d5, you're fine. I thought this was completely lost. Like, visually speaking, you take this, okay, everything is coming. Good luck. Good luck defending this. Apparently, it is the best move, but Stockfish is stupid. Doesn't understand chess. He decided to take. And now, if I play rook c8, I win the game. If I play rook c8, I win the game. Super easy, no problem. I have 2 minutes, my opponent won. I cannot calculate everything. I play d4. d4 loses the game for me. This game is crazy. d4 loses the game, obviously I saw this. I was like, ain't no way you survive this. You give me, like, you attack the queen, I give you check, I push this. Ain't no way you survive this. And with 1 minute, you don't want to play this. With 1 minute, you want to be more careful. So my opponent played knight on c4 attacking the queen. I think he was pretty clever. So now, I mean, he's bringing more pieces toward this side. He's kind of defending, you know, he's doing something clever. Apparently, if I play bishop on e3, I'm super fine. Bishop on e3 is stupid. My queen is hanging. Well, if you take, the queen is not hanging, but okay. I don't know what is the purpose of bishop on e3, honestly. There was even queen on e6. I thought this was winning. Apparently, knight on d5 is still winning, so you're literally blundering a piece. And this is supposed to be winning for white, which is something I guess with 1 minute you cannot really see. This looks crazy scary. And I thought this was completely lost for him. So, obviously he didn't play this. And he decided to take. So he's just winning material and everything. Now, if you think about it, taking maybe wasn't the best thing to do because I'm just going to win a piece. But his idea right now is trying to mate me. So it had a sort of decent idea. The problem is that I'm not going to hang mate. I can just play rook on f7 defending. And then cool, I'm fine. He played this with the idea that if you take, I cannot take because I still get mated. So I need to be careful. Now I can win material, obviously. If you take, I can take with check, which is something I wouldn't suggest you to do because you have to take with the queen, with the king, since it's double check, pawn and queen. So instead of taking, obviously, he decided to take the pawn first with the bishop. And now I can keep winning material, obviously. He decided to take, I cannot take. What I can do was, I mean, I don't have time. He has 3 seconds, so obviously he's completely winning. But what I can do in a position like this is threatening to take and mate me. So I can just defend. If you take, I can just cover. I still cannot take because I get mated, but I'm defended. And I might threaten in the future to play something like this and mate you. Now he decided to take. Rook take. And in this position he resigned. He resigned because this is checkmate. Obviously the bishop wasn't hanging. There is in fact queen d3. You move the king wherever you want, or you can block. I'm going to play rook on f1. And destroy you. So yeah, this is how I sacrificed the piece against a 2100. Yeah, this game was pretty cool, I have to say. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please remember to leave like and subscribe. And maybe comment if you want to see something else or if you want to see something. So that's it for today, guys, and see you soon with the next video.